Welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy, and today we'll be continuing on the main story mission, and we are on part 23, if you can believe it. And it looks like there's
Welcome
four
back.
paintings. We got 3 unlocked, and so we got to complete her trial and probably one more.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. I'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
Alright, so it looks like her trial will be in the headmaster's
How will I gain
office.
access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do.
We'll have to find Professor Fig, and we'll have to figure out a way to do so. Should be interesting and fun. And there we go. We got from Ignatia Wildsmith that famous saying whenever we pass by her. So let's teleport to Professor Fig's office and let's see what type of thought process he has. And together we'll come up with a way to get into the headmaster's office of Phineas Nigellus Black, who was one of the most unpopular headmasters of Hogwarts of all time. And of course so. Who would cancel Quidditch? Who would cancel that? But anyway, he's also the ancestor of Sirius Black. So let's wait for Professor Fig to come. I see a demiguise as well. We'll pick that up later. Alright, let's hatch a plan to get into the headmaster's office.
Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the portkey. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have Polyjuice Potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more.
Alright, here we go. We get an ode to the original series as well, and a prevalent thing throughout the wizarding world. Polyjuice potions, so we'll turn into the headmaster. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the Ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Alright, so what a great plan by Professor Fig. Let's go find that house elf, and let's go figure out the password to the headmaster's office. Should be fun, should be fun.
Professor, a moment of your time, please. Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp, places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
I assure you, Sharp, you may speak freely.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable...
You call that a shine on those boots? Do better. Chewing with your mouth open? Where are your manners?
What could the headmaster want?
Gareth! Mr. Weasley, what are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor, yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago, muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
What? But, sir, I haven't been anywhere near Honeydukes.
Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. On your way, Mr. Weasley.
Kind of interesting to hear the quips that the headmaster has. We saw Professor Fig right over there. That's kind of funny. But Simon Pegg voices the headmaster, and he's done a phenomenal job and is very hilarious.
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the Ministry.
Professor Black, how are you, sir?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes. Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
Something.
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you.
Professor, a word? Professor Black? Again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they are fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a head?
Greetings! I mean, out of my way, children.
That's pretty funny, the way that our character Axel has to correct our tone as the headmaster, as he's kind of mean, but we're not, so we gotta correct
Miss
that every
Broom,
time.
a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not invisible, sir. I've seen them near the library. In fact, they help me with my, heavy books.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
Alright, well, looks like our house elf is in the main kitchen area or around the Great Hall. So we're getting closer, so let's go talk to him and find out.
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
I realize that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig. I shall never understand.
And there's so many interactions that throws us for a loop. That's kind of funny. But there's Scrope, so let's go talk to him.
Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the noble banners of Gryffindor. I shall be taking no questions at this time, or ever. Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight.
Alrighty, well, looks like the polyjuice potion is wearing off pretty frequently, so... so we gotta find a Daedalian key later on, so... Whenever we unlock those chests, we get the Daedalian keys that we see in the Philosopher's Stone. You know the part where you have those flying keys? That's what a Daedalian key is. So you chase that Daedalian key to the locker, and then you can get a house token. And once you get all the house tokens, you can unlock that chest that we have in our common room. So, you know, eventually I'll get all the Daedalian keys, but for now, let's continue on with the mission, and let's go to the headmaster's office and find the portrait of the headmistress from a long time ago, and let's see what her trial will consist of. Should be interesting to see. But let's access the headmaster's office. Should be cool, should be cool. We've seen the headmaster's office a couple times throughout the Harry Potter series, through talking to Dumbledore, going through defensives and stuff. But this is the first time we'll actually get to see it in this game, so that'll be pretty cool. And as we saw a moment ago, I used Accio to grab some of those flying papers, but those are cool collectibles that we can get for our field guide, so they come in quite handy. But I don't remember in the original book and throughout the movie series, I remember the grand staircase that we're going through right now, but do you guys ever remember like a central hall station that we always pass through? You know, separating the living quarters and the classrooms. I don't really remember that in the original series, so let us know in the comments below if you guys remember that or not. And we got some of the trophy room right here. Pretty cool. I wonder what type of trophies and what type of awards they have in the wizarding world besides house cups and Triwizard tournaments and Quidditch and whatnot, so should be interesting to explore. But let's make our way to the headmaster's office. Looks like it is very high up the castle, just a whole bunch of stairs after stairs after stairs. And another thing I gotta learn for my character is how to unlock those locks, so that'll be key. So gotta collect more of those demiguise moons for the caretaker. So here we go. Let's speak the password and see what's up. Alrighty, we also saw that flickering thing around us, so later on in the game we'll probably have to unlock it and add it to our field guide. Should be cool to see later on. But here we are. We have access to the headmaster's office. So now let's go find the portrait.
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
What can I expect to find in the book?
A story. I cannot say more. You may recognize some elements of it, as I was inspired by a tale with which many wizarding children are familiar.
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time?
Alright, so let's explore the office a little bit, but we gotta find a book to help us complete her trial. So I see a paper right over here. Looks like it's a receipt of the headmaster, Nigellus Black. Looks like he likes to take care of his hair, but doesn't want to pay for it, wants to charge the ministry. So that's kind of funny to see. Maybe as a business expense upkeep. So let's go check out this book and let's see what we got. Oh man, this is crazy. Chamber of Secrets right there when Harry enters the flashback of Tom Riddle. So let's see what this trial will consist of. Should be very exciting. Oh man.
Professor Fitzgerald? Can you hear me?
I am here. In this place, you may call me Neve. You shall be witness to a fable. Pay attention. Things are not always as they seem. You must move swiftly and cautiously. Use the tools you encounter to find me. The first you will need is a cloak.
Okay, this reminds me of the Deathly Hallows and, the story of the three brothers. And since we gotta find a cloak, I'm guessing we'll have to find a wand and a stone at some point.
In this place, as in life, death takes many forms. Avoid each of them at all costs.
And there's death itself. That's pretty cool. I'm really liking the style of this level, and so far it is leading up to be one of my favorites. Because the Deathly Hallows is just such a good story. The three brothers, and how each one has a different personality. One wants to seek power with the elder one, but doesn't live long. And, death collects his due. And the Stone brother really wanted to bring his lover, but she felt empty and didn't belong in that life as she passed on earlier. And then he had the youngest and wisest, who wanted to cheat death himself.
I need to time this
that
just right.
story's really, really cool. There we go. We got the embodiment of Death Eaters, or Death's shadow right there. So this one, we definitely have to have a stealth approach. So really, really cool art style that they decided for this level. Really element of storytelling. So let's find a way around this guy. There we go. He moved out of the way and we can progress. That's what we like to see. But prior to this game, I didn't really realize that wizards... Oh man, there he is. There he is. He senses our presence. But I didn't realize that you could cast a spell to make yourself invisible. I always thought it was the cloak, and only the cloak, that you can use to become invisible. But you learn something new every day.
Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there.
And do you guys think this is Hogsmeade, or do you guys think it's Godric's Hollow, or some type of other wizarding world? Because I'm not really sure. It looks familiar, but at the same time doesn't, if you kind of catch my drift. So this is interesting, that this is really truly the only level that we have to be stealthy, because all the levels prior throughout this game, we never had to be stealthy, even if given the option. So I guess every game kind of incorporates that type of stealthy element to the game now. So let's make our way through. Let's make our way through.
That's where I need to go, but I need to find a way past them.
And oh man, look at our map at the bottom left corner. Look how many bad guys there are. So good thing that one moved away so we can get through. But maybe once we get past this corner, maybe we're home free. Maybe we're home free. There we go. Oh, and man, there he is himself. There he is himself. But let's make our way through. Let's make our way through. I don't know if you guys ever read the Tales of Beedle the Bard. I know I have. Back in the day, once the books ended, I'm like, oh, there's a new book. So out of all the stories on there, which is your guys' favorite? I think my favorite one has to be this one. I remember Ron Weasley talking about the hopping pot in that one. I remember that one as well, but I think this is the classic one, and that's why, the whole last book of Harry Potter revolved around this story, and was just a really cool interpretation. And just being able to play through that story
That's the way
through a
forward.
different take is just incredible and fun. And I think we found the invisibility cloak, so there we go. That is really awesome to see. And now we've found a different part of the Deathly Hallows. And looks like we have a bunch of opponents near us, so let's make our way through. Let's make our way through. Really, really scary, but maybe that wasn't the right way to go, so. Or maybe it is. We'll just have to see. We'll find out in a second. Yeah. Oh, man.
They can't see me
Wow.
at all. I can get closer
That
to
is
them.
crazy. They don't notice us. We were just an inch away from them. So maybe their senses aren't very good, or maybe the cloak's just doing a really, really good job. But there we go. We're part way through, and on to the next section. And there we go, just like a storybook, or just like a drawing notebook. Got open space and an open canvas again.
But have yet to find me. Keep searching, but this time you will be unable to hide. Wield the wand you see before you. Do not squander its extraordinary power.
Alrighty, there we go. She's giving us the warning, just like the brothers learned throughout the Deathly Hallows, the tale of three brothers. There we go. We got the Elder Wand too, so we got a lot of the Deathly Hallows, and now we gotta get out of this book. We gotta get out of this book, complete her trial, and move forward. But this is one of my favorite levels so far. It's very, very creative. And this reminds me of some of the castles that we've been through, that Ranrock has been trying to figure out through its history with the Guardians. But we got some wildlife here, and looks like we're finally finding our way out of this castle. So looks like we got some dark wizards, and we are not in incognito anymore, so looks like we don't have to go all stealthy and can move forward. Here we go. This is definitely a challenge, but we got to take care of business, and anything that comes knocking on our door, we got to answer back. There we go. We got a veil over there, and looks like we'll just use some descendo power, and looks like our way through is now available. But look at our character model. Look at how we're designed as a drawing. And it's so cool how they can really emphasize a lot of the colors with just black and white. Really simple colors, but they really did a good job at bringing the world to life with this level. I think this is pretty up there with one of my favorite levels, especially with all the dragons. I mean, those were super cool, but this one's playing on something we're very familiar with and putting a different spin on it, one that we can interact and play through, and I really enjoy that aspect of this level. Right, let's make quick work of these enemies right here. Got a dark mongrel, and it looks like we have one more enemy. He's just standing there, so we'll just hit him with the spell and, you know, let them spawn a couple more, but we'll take care of business. And it's just incredible to see the progress that we made from a person just understanding the wizarding world as an incoming 5th year. And honestly, I feel like we know more than some of the 7th years now, especially learning all the unforgivable curses from Sebastian and all the transfigurations and all the subjects of the coursework that 5th years, 6th years, and everyone that's graduated should know by the time they're done at Hogwarts. So really impressed with my character and really impressed with the game and how they decided to go about that. But looks like we got a courtyard here. There we go. We got the towering embodiment of death. And maybe this is where we gotta face him. Should be exciting. Never mind. I mean, I guess we fight him, but we'll fight his minions first. We'll fight his troll and some of his dark wizards, but ooh-wee. This is an awesome level. Like I don't remember what level there was earlier in this game, but there was one that was really out there. And this one is kind of out there too. But they've really executed this one very well. And it'll leave a lasting impression for me for a long time. But the Descendo spell has come quite in handy throughout the past couple levels too. And we got the troll being red against us. It's level 27, so it's a little higher level than us, so it's a little more challenging, but we're making quick work of him. Just getting him down one-on-one, you know, isolating each guy and casting the spells we need to. But we got ancient magic here, and oh man, that didn't do as much damage as I hoped, but our regular spells are doing just as well. And what I realized is the different gear that we wear upgrades our attack and our defense and all those attributes about our character. But there we go. We just made him mad. It looks like we have more trolls to fight off. So let's make quick work of these guys. But I wonder if we'll have to face that huge figure later on, because if we do, I'll be very excited for it. Oh yeah, the level that was out there was the haunted Hogsmeade shop one. That one wasn't my favorite, you know, but this was the DLC. Man, I think I would like it quite a bit, because it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Plays on something we're very familiar with, you know, Three Brothers, and then puts a spin to it where we get to actually play through the story in a way that we've never been able to in the past. So just gotta isolate each character. There we go. And let's use the ancient magic on the troll potentially. There we go. Boom. And only has about a quarter of its health bar left, so let's defeat it. There we go. We got one taken care of, and then we got a couple little henchmen. So woo, look at that combination. That combination's really helped us. And it looks like despite us defeating Troll, if we don't defeat it quickly, looks like more opponents will spawn. So let's take care of this troll as much as we can, because man, we wanna finish this tale. But I'm really enjoying this mode. Really, the cinematics, the art style, the story, just everything about this level is incredible, and I really enjoy. There we go. We took care of your henchman. And okay, he wants us to proceed. He wants us to proceed and face us at a different time. So let's get it. Alright, so our marker's really close, so let's go towards it and let's move on. But whoever thought about this level, give them an A+, give them a raise. This was incredible to just play through. Very fun trial, because the past trials have been very repetitive. They've been quite repetitive, you know, similar pensive protectors. And oh, what's that? That might be the resurrection stone. So there we go. We've completed the Deathly Hallows, and we got all of them. And just like that, it's the tale of three brothers all over again. But we, as the character, a couple hundred years before Harry Potter, get to experience it. So looks like we have to complete the trial of the stone. looks like people are mourning after a funeral. There we have Death standing right in front of us. Oh man, does he look menacing. So what will this trial consist of? Should be exciting to see. And oh man, our landscape's changing again. It looks like we have someone over there in a casket, so gotta pay our respects maybe.
But you cannot undo what has been done. The magic of the stone can only conjure a shadow of my former self.
Gotcha. That was actually her. So we had to kind of bring her to life again in this story. And there we go.
But there is no light without shadow, as there is no shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should.
Boy, was that fun though. I was not expecting that in this game, but this was very nostalgic and awesome.
Remember that as you witness my memory.
Alrighty, looks to me that we have completed successfully the trial that she has set forth. So let's go to the pensive. Now let's see Professor Headmistress Fitzgerald's memory about this whole ancient magic situation and see how Isadora has changed throughout the course of the time when they first met her and to the time that she came back to Hogwarts. So there we go, we got the ancient magic symbol, and let's now dive in to the pensive and see what happened.
Isadora, what you did for your father was remarkable.
Wasn't it? And Percival needn't worry about the strands of emotion or the traces that this magic leaves. I found a way to contain all of it.
You haven't stopped.
Goblin Silver.
You spoke to a goblin about this.
Don't worry, he has no idea what we're containing.
We don't know what effect any of this may have. The emotions, the dark traits.
You sound like Percival. And as it happens, I do know. It is a source of strength, of focus. Somehow it enhances my ability to wield magic.
I don't follow, Isadora.
I think we can harness it.
Power like this is not to be toyed with. In the wrong hands,
You saw what I did for my father. Oh, Neve, imagine the good we could do. Everyone is in some kind of pain.
What are you doing?
Breathe it in. Can you feel it?
Oh, Isadora. This must stop. All of it.
You've kept this power to yourselves for so long because you fear it. I choose to embrace it.
Oh man, that's tough to see. That's the negative side and the draw of ancient magic and dark magic as a whole. I kind of see the parallels between Isadora and Sebastian, you know, trying to do good but just misunderstanding and just letting the magic negatively impact their lives and the people around them. So looks like we got a new keeper, so let's see what's up.
Is it true? Has someone completed the first 3 trials?
It is, and I have.
But you are so...
young? I know. You must be Professor Bakar.
I am.
Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed, was Isadora inhaling painful emotions?
She was.
I found it disturbing. But how did she gain power from it? How did she harness it?
It was disturbing. Although, I wonder that you are asking about her power. I hesitate to reveal the location of my pensive to someone who, perhaps, has yet to understand the responsibility of power.
I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, What you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizardkind. We have no time to waste.
I see. Nonetheless, the knowledge you shall gain after you witness my memories is too valuable to share without further consideration. I shall require time to confer with the other keepers.
It seems we have no choice but to wait, frustrating as it is. I heard what you told Professor Bakar. Isadora was inhaling emotions to gain power?
She was. And she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald, without permission.
Monstrous.
What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted in goblin silver.
The repositories?
Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragball.
5 names? The Keepers, and who else? Isadora Morganac?
Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the Tower, Rookwood Castle.
If the Keepers won't tell you where the next trial is yet, I say we at least maintain a watch on Ranrock. Perhaps he'll lead us to more information.
Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your polyjuice plan worked like a charm.
I knew it would. I may have done too good a job distracting Black. I had no idea he can't hold his fire whiskey.
Alrighty, well there we go. That was an incredible level. And we got a trophy as well. I think that was my favorite level of this game so far. So, you know, we're getting closer to the ancient magic. We unlocked, I'm assuming, the 4th and last keeper. So we're really close to the end of the game. And I've had such a blast so far. So, thanks for all the support. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.